Welcome to Clock In with Lynn. Welcome to Clock In with Lynn. Hey, y'all. Hey, Lynn's friends. I am so excited about today. Let me just say, God is so good, y'all. Now, I know it's a lot going on out here in the world, and I just want to remind y'all, you still have to continue to just have faith and believe in the greater good. I'm not letting the news, I'm not letting no outside noise, I'm not letting nobody interrupt what I got going on. So I encourage you all to do the same. I'm so excited about today's show. And this month is Women's History Month. So we are paying homage to all the amazing women that has done tremendous work in this world. I'm so excited. I don't know why this thing has, hold on, y'all. 1 second. I'm trying to see what I got 2 screens going on right now. Y'all know I'm a little tech challenged, but 2026, I was like, I'm not going to be tech challenged anymore. I'm going to learn the technology stuff, y'all. But anyway, I just want to remind y'all, be grateful. Have the attitude of gratitude. That has gotten me through so many things, and I just want to say, do the same thing. I'm telling y'all, it's great. Even when you're going through the dark times, I always be thinking like, oh Lord, I'm grateful for what I have right now at this moment. So hey, y'all, happy Wednesday, winning Wednesday. Okay. We woke up this morning. There's so many people that did not make it to 2026, and we are still here. Come on, y'all. That's enough to be thankful for right there. There's so many people that did not make it to 2026, and we still here. We got another chance to do it right. Come on, let's go. Welcome to Clock In with Lynn. I'm so thankful and grateful for you all to be here. I am your love coach. I love doing what I do. I just love it. It's my purpose. It's my passion. As you come in, make sure you hit that like button because that helps me get out to more people and all those things. So yes, I appreciate that. Hey, y'all, I'm going to put the comment section on in 1 second. Like I said, do me a favor, hit that like button as you come in, y'all. Like. Just hit it. Just a quick little tap, child. Just a quick little tap. Thanks for being here. And let me just say this. I really want to say I'm so grateful for all of you that have subscribed to my channel, continue to watch, continue to support. I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you. Thank you. All right. So today we have an amazing show. I'm very excited. We got an amazing shows for the rest of this month, child. I got some powerful women coming on. I'm so excited. I'm so excited about today's guest. She is all that, and it's gonna be fun. Hey, y'all! Make sure y'all put in the comment section where you are clocking in from. I would love to know that as well. Sophia, she said, what the hell? What are you doing? Whatever are you saying? I do not. Okay, Sophia, child. Sophia, you can't be a real person. Sophia, are you a real person? I think you're a real person. Y'all know, I didn't even know this. Oh, and I'm glad Sophia did this. Thank you, Sophia. Let me tell you why. I did not know they have trolls like a whole community of trolls to come on like people like your lives and to say things, negative things. Did y'all know that? It's a real community out there. So Sophia, she's a part of that. And it's funny, child. I don't give a damn what nobody said about me. Let me tell y'all something. I do not care about no dang on troll, child. A troll ain't nothing. That's just somebody. And she don't even have no picture. That's how she don't. That's a person that need a hug. Sophia, I'll give you a hug. If I met you in real person, in real time, I would give you a hug, because most people that have that kind of time to go on someone's live, they don't even know you, and to speak negatively, they need a hug. And I feel sorry for those kind of people. I do. We got to do better with helping these people. I don't know. Maybe she was I don't know. She didn't get enough love. But hey, Sophia, I'm glad you're on my live, and I'm glad that you're engaging, because that helps me as well. So I appreciate you, Sophia, girl. So yes, we have a beautiful show today. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm so excited. Yes, honey. She's amazing. I am so excited. She's a mother. She's an accomplished orthodontist, honey. And y'all know, a lot of people can't do what she is doing. She's an entrepreneur. She's the owner of Smile Sweet Orthodontist. She's been in the business over 20 years. She's helped transform countless smiles while building a successful business. She's originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, where I'm from. So she graduated from the historic Little Rock Central High. Yes, honey. She's an HBCU graduate. She's a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. She's a Lynx member. She was featured as a top doctor in the Top Docs and Women in Medicine in 2022. She's a member of the American Association of Orthodontists. She's a member of the American Dental Association and member of the Illinois State Dental Society. Okay. Y'all, she all that. Let me tell y'all something. Beauty, brains, and boss energy. Child, a lot of y'all don't understand that when you have it all, when God has given you all these gifts, and you just shining like that, this is who my guest is today, y'all. She's beauty, she's brain, she's all that. And she's so humble. Let's start there. She's very humble. But I just want to say I love my guest today. And let me just show you. I just want to go here and just show a little bit so you can see. Just take a look at this clip. One.
DJ Eastside, macht euch platt, Mann. Remix für you Party Break Snap. Bald, wir gehen steil.
Diamant auf meinem Hals, Glanz wie Stahl. Was zu laut, egal. Diamant on my neck, feel that pain. Remix for you, break that chain.
Let me tell y'all something. Friends, help me welcome Dr. Kimberly May Smith to this virtual stage, honey. Okay.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
How are you?
Hey, Dr. Kimberly May Smith, honey.
How are you?
I am so good. You looking good, girl.
Oh, I am trying, child. I'm trying. It has been a day, but
I know you are a boss woman, and I love it. And I'm so thankful that you are here on Clock It with Lynn today, because I know you busy, child. I know you busy. Well,
I'm hanging in there. It's cold, so I'm inside, and it's not as beautiful as where you are, but I'll live vicariously through you.
Okay. Wait a minute. So it's cold in Chicago right
now? Oh my God.
Oh God.
We had severe thunderstorms. I actually saw lightning hit the ground. I'd never seen that. And then the next day it snowed, and then it was like 20 degrees. I think today it might be like 40. So it's warmer, but it's still cold.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
with all of that, it's just really, I mean, Chicago, this is Illinois Midwest weather.
got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's rough.
Being here in LA, child, I honestly I forget how other parts of the world be living.
Mhm.
I do because we have our sunshine all day, and yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
it's
so
hard.
happy that you are here, and I'm
Yes.
so excited about this conversation because I'm like, this is March, right? So we are
Yeah.
celebrating Women's Month, and what better way to celebrate a doctor, honey, in the house? Yes, beauty brains, boss energy. I love all of that. As you guys know, I am originally from Arkansas, and so is Dr. Kimberly. She is as well.
Mhm.
So let's just talk
Good
about
vibes from Arkansas, from all the way from Little Rock.
So let's get into it. Let's cock in,
Okay.
y'all. So anybody in the comments, if you have questions for her, please put in the comments and we'll try to answer. We'll see, child. So yes, let's get into it. So you grew up in Little Rock. You
I
had
did. I've grown up in Little Rock all my life. Arkansas has been considered home, and I've been in Illinois for about 20 years, a little over 20 years. I moved here when I left, 2020. I'm sorry, I said 2020. In 2001 is when I
Okay.
moved here. I
okay.
moved here in 2001. So I've been here officially now 26 years, which is probably half my life, right? Because I spent one half in Arkansas, went to school at the wonderful Hampton University,
Come on.
HBCU, and then I did my dental school at University of Maryland. So I've been on the East Coast, and then I turned back around and did my residency at Howard University. So I always say I'm a HU 2 times. I'm a
Okay.
pirate and a bison, right? The best of both worlds. And then I moved to Illinois in 2001, and I've been here ever since.
I love it.
Yeah.
And
So.
if you speaking of the HBCUs, now you know they always say which one is the real HU, which one.
Okay, so I'm always.
And you went to Howard, so which one is it?
Yeah, I'm still gonna rep my pirate bundles. That's my first love. Like I love being a bison, but I gotta go with my first love.
Okay.
So I'm a Hampton pirate at heart. So
I
I
love
gotta
it.
go with my first love.
I love that you had the best of both worlds. I love
I've
it.
had the best of both worlds. I loved my undergrad experience. I mean, I absolutely have no regrets, especially having been to an HBCU. I mean, like there is no other experience like that. And yes, I am proud to say that I have gone to two wonderful schools in two different, of course, I'm undergrad at one and then I'm postgraduate at another. So
Okay.
two separate experiences. That's why I always say my first love, my heart, because I spent 4 years at Hampton, so when you're young, getting to know yourself. It was my first time away from home,
Yeah.
having experienced the East Coast, coming from I guess what we call the Midwest or the South. It was just very different, lots of shock, I would say culture shock, a vast amount of learning. But I wouldn't trade those relationships for the world. And of course, I got to give a shout out to my ladies of Delta Sigma Theta
Come on.
Incorporated.
Yeah, D9 is in the house. D9
Yes,
is in the
I know, and I got it. But I just, like just when I sit back and think about it, and my memory might not be so great, but I really love, my experience, with that. And I would tell anybody that if they had an opportunity, the HBCU is just, I can only imagine that it's probably even harder now because I can say, well, we even get in. I don't know if I would even.
Yeah.
It's so competitive. I've heard that it's just so competitive, now, but I love the relationship building and meeting, authentic people because networking is just how we get things done now, like you gotta know it's not good grades and all of that's great. But your network kind of can help determine your net worth. So I'm always saying, like, meeting new people. I'm teaching my daughter how to kind of put herself out there, make relationships, build relationships, talk to people. Let's not just talk through social media. Let's physically really get to know people, really get to know who they are, so they get to know who you are, so that they know who they're picking, because everybody, has qualities on paper that look good. But I think it's really important to show people the depth of yourself, right? Like, so they really get to know who you are, because it's too competitive. So you got to give somebody something to stand out on. So if I just look at A person on paper and B person, I might not can tell them apart, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
A may be more talkative, more friendly, more conversational, may have great intuition, extremely intelligent, knows how to present themselves, and can really communicate, right? So that would make it a lot better for me. Like, I would choose a person to work in my office. I don't care if they had all C's, but if they could talk, speak, respectful, and sell,
Oh, come on.
they would be check mark. Like, I would hire them, because I think that that is where you can shine and show your value, and show that you have make yourself valuable, to whom, whatever job that you may have. I think that people
Absolutely.
would appreciate that. So I know that might be off the subject matter, but I think about that a lot, because
I love all of
hiring in my, just finding right people, right seats for my business. It's been a really hard role for me. Just finding people to help that I feel want to invest in the business, or really invest in that particular position. And I don't necessarily have, I know you say, I keep hearing this word, boss babe. I don't necessarily, I guess I didn't really think about myself as a boss babe, right? But I mean, we are very much a team in my office. And so I don't necessarily say that I know that I am their boss, but I really try to incorporate more of a family, a more collaborative network in my office, because I want everybody to contribute and show value in that space, and that their opinions and their thoughts and their, recommendations matter. Like, we want to have team collaboration. So we have team leaders and contributors, and we consider ourselves a family. So we don't really say bosses, we say team leads, or, hey, this is our, our wonderful, we learn to, what we say, give everybody like their kudos. When when you come to our office, we want everybody we did this project where we told people to say, hey, say something good about Harshini, say something great about Byron, so that when we introduce ourselves, or we call these trust transfers, and we are exchanging vibes. So, like, you might come in and you might see the person at the front desk, but then the front desk may warm transfer you to someone else in the back. And so we always say, when you warm transfer, make sure you let the patient know something real spectacular about the person that you're warm transferring to, so they get that feel, right? So it's not just, here's Byron. It's like, he's Byron, he's great at what he does. He's going to take you around. He's going to do your scan, kind of talk to you about next steps, and help make you feel comfortable. He's really good at that. So we try to give the patient something that everybody stands out on. I think it just helps with the experience, and helps to make people who have lots of anxiety feel better about what they're stepping into. And so I really pride myself, on those things, because I don't want people to leave me, even though we want to have continuity, right? So I want people to stay. But unfortunately, it's kind of fortunate and unfortunate. Everybody that works for me wants to go to dental school.
Nice.
So they are leaving. Right?
Wow.
They're all going to leave, right? Because they have bigger, brighter dreams. But that's no reason why I can't get their stardom while they're here, right? Because they stardom and they go on, and then we get a whole new crew. But I'm going to at least embrace the people that I have, and respect, and I'm grateful to just have people that are interested in this field, because it makes what we do even better. So I'm excited, but I'm sad, right? Because I'm gonna lose them.
I get that, and just you speaking on all of that. It's not so let's talk about this a little bit. Is there a lot of Black women, Black men in the dentist
Ooh.
industry? Just
I think it's more than what it used to be, but it's still less than what it should be, right? Like
okay.
it's better. It grows, but it's like not exponentially. Like I remember when I first came here to Illinois in 2000, I believe there were 5 African American orthodontists. Now we're not talking about general dentists per se, because you start off being you go to general dentistry and then you do a specialty, another level of schooling, which is like 2 to 3 more years.
Okay.
And so in that specialty, particularly, there was only 5 in the state of Illinois. So can you imagine only 5 of us? And like we all knew each other. And Illinois is a big state. So you have, northern suburbs, you have the southern suburbs, you have downtown, you got Midwest. I mean, you got the West Loop. You have Chicago in itself has its own little sections, right? It has the West Loop, South Loop, straight center downtown, North Side, South Side. It has its own habitat. And then you have Illinois that has 20,000 suburbs. And my practice is in Evanston, which is the northern suburb, 20 minutes north of the city of Chicago. Okay. So I'm centrally located around, I always say Northwestern University is 5 minutes from where my practice is. So it's still like a community, but its own little city, 20 minutes, north of downtown. So that's itself. And then you have other cities like Vernon Hills and Lake Forest and Lake Bluff. And then you got the South, you have Highland Park, Hyde Park. Obama's Hyde Park, right? So all these, so when you think about all these little suburban areas in the state of Illinois, and then you say, what is only 5? And I think if they're 10 or 12 now this is 2026. So in 2020, 2000, what did I tell you? I came up here, I finished in 2000. So the year 2000, and then we talk about 2026. If it's 12 people, that's 26 years of double. So that's 1 a year, or less than 1 a year, one every other year. Right. So it's not, so is there more? Yes. But it's when you really think about it, is it more? Is it more? So I think it's really good for people to see people like us, in those spaces, because that doesn't mean that there's not room. It's just that there could be a lack of exposure. It's so multifaceted why we don't have as many African Americans in this field as we would like, because it's layered, right? It's just
right.
It's
That's why I really believe in mentorship and exposing, like I said, exposure. Because if kids don't know, they just don't know. You don't even know. People don't even think that they can have a smile, right? Come on. They don't even think that they can. They're like, oh, this is extra. This is something we don't need, and great, it is an aesthetic output, but it's a function first. So that if you look at it, I always say, fixing, we always want to fix the bite functionally, and producing great aesthetics is just what I am, right? Okay. So I think that people don't necessarily think that having that is healthy, but internally, I love that phrase that Dion says, if it feels good, you pay good, you pay good, or if you feel good, you play good, you play good, you pay good, kind of thing. You always want to feel good about yourself. And I think you want to do more when you feel good about yourself. And the thing about the teeth is, I always say, from an aesthetic standpoint, when you change that, it changes your whole dynamic. Mm-hmm. What one thing, you can almost look like you have had a facelift by moving your teeth. I call it an orthodontic facelift, because in so many of the transformations, and I do this every day, and I've been doing it for 20 years, I see people, they change something here, they change their hair, they lose their weight, they, do their eyebrows, their skin flourishes, they eat better, right? Because they don't want to, mess up anything that they've invested in. So this investment, it changes everything. So I see it and I love it. That's the best part I love about my job. So, Dr. Kim, what made you get into this? Like,
Okay, do you really want to know?
I know you came from a family of entrepreneurs. You know, your mom, your dad, and the late great Jennifer. I love her to death. As y'all know, everybody know though. I dated her brother for a little time. So the people know that. But so what made you decide that you wanted to get into dentistry? Like, what was that aha moment for you?
My brother.
Your brother?
Brother. So yes, oh my God. Yes. So when I remember it like yesterday. I had a very bad thumb sucking habit. Like I sucked my thumb. I had this doll that it's so crazy, but I had this, and I still have it. My mother gave it back to me before she passed away, but it was like this orange doll that I used to sleep with. And it is not the cutest doll, but I loved it, and I used to lay on it, and I sucked my thumb for years with it. And they tried everything to make me stop. They used to paint my hands with hot sauce, but I loved hot sauce, so that didn't matter to me. Like that didn't, like none of that stuff worked. And they even would paint this. There's this stuff that you can paint on your fingers, and when you put it in your mouth, it's like nasty. But I would go to the next finger, like, and then my mom, she would like try to paint all of them, and then I would scrub it till I could just get it off. I was so addicted to my thumb. And then I remember one day we were sitting at breakfast and we were eating, and my Ricky, he was watching me, and he said, "I bet you can't close your mouth." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, you." He said, "You can't. Your mouth. You won't be able to close it. You're gonna sit like this." He started mocking me at the table because he was watching me eat. He said I couldn't close. And I said, "Yes, I can." I was like, "Yes, I can close." And he was like, "No, you can't." And I tried it a couple times and I couldn't. And I was so embarrassed and so infuriated with him because Ricky was a picker.
He a picker. I gotta tell you a story after this.
Yeah, he was just a picker. You know what I mean? Like he would, when you pass something, he would like go in every day.
Talk about my nose. He used to say, yeah. Lynn, he used to be like, "Can you leave some air for somebody else to breathe? Because my nostrils." Like,
okay, so you know how he is, right?
Like, he was a mess. But
yeah, but every day,
yes.
But I was so self-conscious about it after that. Like I thought that everybody would see what he see, because to me, everybody noticed him, right? Because Ricky had a lot of fans, right?
He had a lot of fans. He had a lot of
he had a little B-list celebrity. He had a lot of fans.
Celebrity.
Yeah, right. So I thought that in my mind, that if he noticed it, that everybody, because I'm like, well, he's, a mini fan. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I became obsessed with my mouth because I felt like everybody that I'm going to go, they're going to see what he sees. And if my brother is teasing me every day, then that must mean that everybody sees it. So I begged for braces. I went around interviewing orthodontists that I could find. I convinced my mother to give me braces at 15. I think I was 14 or 15. I hadn't even made it to Central yet. I was like, "Man, you got to give me braces. I'll do anything for it. Like anything." I started going to Dr. Brown. Roosevelt Brown, he was a dentist, a Black dentist in Little Rock. I would go get my teeth cleaned like 3 times a year. They told me to stop coming in there. Like I became it was a super obsession. So I didn't know anything about, I became obsessed with my teeth. I didn't necessarily think I was going to do that, but I became extremely obsessed with my teeth. And to the point, my mother had asked me, around this age, she said, "Hey, 14," she said, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And I said, "Well, I guess I can go ahead and just be a doctor or something." And she said, "Why don't you be a dentist?" I mean, she said that to me. And I mean, it was like, yeah, she said, "You run around here and getting your teeth cleaned 3 times a year, 4 times, asking us for braces every time, like," she was like, "You could have a really nice lifestyle, a family."
The passion for it.
Yeah, she was just like, "You can have a lifestyle, a family. You don't have to worry about being on call." She named all those things at the table. And I said, "Okay, I'm going to be a dentist." And that's where it started. And I was like 14 at the time. So that tells you how long I sucked my thumb.
Wow.
I sucked my thumb a really, really long time. And, I don't know if I would have even stopped if my brother had not said that, because I didn't tie my thumb sucking habit to my looks. He did.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, I just need this thumb and this doll. I'm good.
That's
I
so.
yeah. So, but I mean, it's not like anybody in my household was a dentist, or
Mm-hmm.
they had entrepreneurs. We have lawyers. I got a family full of lawyers.
Right.
But there was no one really in my family that was in medical. My mother really wanted to be a doctor.
Oh,
But
I didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, she was. Her major was zoology, and she was at University of Pittsburgh. But
Okay.
she and my dad got married. He went to law school, and she left and moved with him. So.
Okay.
And I think she ended up graduating from University of Arkansas. I think they both ended up graduating from Fayetteville. But
Okay.
my mother was studying zoology because she wanted to be a doctor, but she was,
I didn't know that. Okay.
married. They married young, and I feel like she wanted to, have support my dad and be with him. She had my brother like at 19 or 20 or something. They were young, but
Right.
to us it looked old. But to them, when I think about it, they were young.
Yeah.
Completing stuff like that. And my father went to law school at Howard. He's also a Howard Law.
Right.
But
Yeah.
so-
Ricky went to Howard too. Yeah.
Yeah. So they all, so that, like it wasn't like I saw that, but it was my fascination is because I wanted to have nice teeth after that. And then I became extremely, into that. And then just, after interviewing my orthodontist, and I saw how he really just what he was doing, I said, I should be able to do this. I get to do this. I never went to dental school wanted to practice dentistry. I never really wanted to do that. I knew that I wanted to do this, but I had to do that first before I could even get into dental school. So it was definitely, and they were looking, remember Arkansas did not have a dental school. I think until recently.
I did not know that. Honestly, I did not know that. And I don't understand why.
They didn't have one. It was one of those states where
to me.
They did not, I think, and if I'm not mistaken, we'd have to Google this. I think they just got one like 2 years ago. I think. We need to look.
Why though? People don't understand that people don't understand that the mouth is very like connected to a lot of other things.
Oh,
health.
Everything.
People don't know that though, Dr. Kim.
Yeah, so every disease has
a lot of people don't go to the dentist, don't get it's weird.
But every disease has an oral manifestation when it's out of control. So like everything, yes, everything will manifest in the mouth. Hypertension can manifest in the mouth. Diabetes can manifest in the mouth. Just a lot of things can manifest in the mouth. Sometimes before you see, general body, sometimes you'll see things in the mouth before you experience that in your body. So especially if you aren't controlled.
So what would you suggest, like just the general public out here?
Okay.
What do they need to do like annually as far as sleeping and a check? Like, because I feel like people be sleeping on dental stuff.
They do.
Like, I don't even want to see
it's so funny. I just saw a basketball player on Jimmy Kimmel Live yesterday.
Okay.
I want to say he plays for Boston. I think he just won Defensive Player of the Year. His name is Derek. He has a beer. That's why I just was happened to be watching. But he just made a beer, and I want to say his name is Derek. I'd have to look at my Instagram. It's going to be, I don't want to misquote me. It's not, I don't know basketball to that degree. Mm-hmm. But what was Derek White?
Okay.
Is the basketball player, but he was on Jimmy Kimmel and he was saying how he had to get this bridge and he was playing. I guess he got hit in the mouth and the bridge fell out and he had to run to the back and put some glue on it and came back out. And they were showing this on Jimmy Kimmel and they showed him like I don't know if he super glued the thing in there. I don't know what he did, but he went to because he couldn't get back to the dentist till the next day. But he said when he got to the dentist said, well, I told you to come in here last week. So he was saying that he had not really tended to the care like he should have, right? And so you don't really think about that. But if you really, really think about it, like he went back and did something to that thing because he didn't want to come back out and play with his front teeth not there, right? That's what I don't know what he used to glue that thing back in. I don't know what he used, but he figured it out. Okay. So he figured out. So, but I say all that to say how important those front teeth are, right?
Oh, yes.
So what do we need to do to protect them? We need to make sure we go to the dentist at least 2 times a year and cleanings 2 times a year at minimum. So every 6 months.
Every 6 months, cleaning.
Check up. Yeah.
Do that.
Get a checkup. Let's go check in.
I do the water. I do the water pig. I do all of it.
Yes, we need to. Flossing is really big too. If you don't floss, if you're not good at that, water picks are great, right?
Yes, I love water pig.
Yeah, they are great. They keep everything nice and tight, especially with the different pressure areas. You can change the pulse pressures on them to kind of get rid of that bacteria. But look, basic water rinsing after you eat is just great. Even if especially if we're drinking a lot of acidic drinks like coffees, teas, red sauces, spaghetti, pastas, things that are highly acidic. It's just always good to rinse after you eat, right? Because you want to hydrate. You also want to get some oxygen in there because a really nice basic environment kills an acidic one. And we all know that bad things grow in acid, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever we can do to keep a neutral state or a balanced state is always great. So if just anything, I always say, even after you eat, if you don't have a toothbrush, just, rinse with some water. Just rinse. Yeah, rinse with some water. Let's just neutralize that, oral cavity so that it's not, overwhelmingly exposing the bodies to bad bacteria. That's
right.
Those are the basics, bare basics. Brushing, and brush.
But you know what's so crazy? It's a lot of people don't floss.
I know. I don't know.
But it's hard for people to do it. Like, why people don't floss? Like, I don't want to date anybody that don't floss.
I know.
I just can't do it because if you can't take but it's so many people.
Time. It's time.
It's probably so you think it's the time?
Yeah, it's time because think about it. We Americans, I feel like we're always in a rush. We're always in a hurry. We want things quick, fast, and in a hurry, right? And so typically, if we're trying to get somewhere, we're trying to get somewhere within a specific amount of time, and no one's spending 10 minutes in the bathroom taking care of their oral hygiene. It's consuming to the process of time, right? Most people get up, or most kids, they get up, they go to school. You think about it, about the process of someone even getting ready to go to school, like even your kids. How early are they rising to really take care of everything that they need to do? Brush, floss, get neat, take a bath, wash your face, eat some breakfast. How much time are you allotting for your morning routine care? Yeah. And if I were to ask most teenagers, they're probably sleeping to the very last minute, right? Mm-hmm. Waiting to the very last minute to get up versus preparing their morning rituals for their day, right? Because you just want to get up and go. You don't really want to make time for anything else. And hygiene is just not something people have put up on their list. I want to encourage more of that, but I feel like it's just not considered quote unquote as a priority in a lot of people's lives, right?
Right. And let's talk about that. You're talking about priority and how do you balance that? Doing what you do, being a mother, a business owner, how do you balance all of that with your just personal life? How do you do it?
Ooh, you know what? Instead of balance, I think, Lynn, it's more or less about alignment and prioritizing what matters, most in my season. And giving myself grace, when things, aren't evenly distributed, right? You just trying to I try to be more intentional with my time. That's what I said. That was my word for the year. in 2026. I want to be more intentional with my time and my energy and try to make space for things. My team, my daughter, my relationship, personal relationships, and myself, but it is a it's a daily task. I don't know that I have perfected it. But there is always something that I feel, depending on the season, something tends to pull more than the other, But as a practice owner, this is new for me, like I can't say, where do you learn to be a business owner? And I've been in school for, I literally, when I think about it, I was in school for 15 years, right? You think about your undergrad, your college, your postgraduate, and I'm still in school, right? Learning to perfect the craft, but learning to be a business owner was not in that process. So I'm learning on the job of how to be an entrepreneur, and kudos for those that know how to do this inherently or just have a knack for it, because it is not for the weary or for the weak. Definitely. It's difficult but doable. I keep reminding myself it's and I don't want to let my mishaps and the things that I've experienced along the way be a deterrent to me moving forward and growing in it, because I just have to remind myself of what I can be for someone else, because I know what was provided for me, and I want to be able to be in a position to at least give that back, right? Because I want God to bless me, right? Continue to bless me. And so I just think it's important that I'm in a space, since we are in numbers that are hopefully inadequate, right? That I'm in a space to show the next generation what's possible, so at least I can say when I leave here, I would have felt that I left a service, to someone else, or have given back something, that was at least given to me, because I was extremely blessed to have the family, that I had, and the exposure that I had for so young, which I recognize is just not what most people have, right? So I don't want to take that for granted. I think I did at some point, because you only know what you know, but like looking now in this space, completely grateful,
I always preach the gratitude of the attitude of gratitude. Like that's the way to go. And you being recognized as a top doctor, like what does recognition mean to you, Dr. Kim?
Well, oh my God. I mean,
girl, you it though. This is the thing. I think people really like, you are everything that any young girl aspire to be, right? You are the beauty. You're it. You're the it girl, right? You are like
crazy
the it girl, and that's just, you just gotta lay in it. That's who you are.
Well, I'm so glad. I mean, it's humbling, but I do feel it's
humbling. But God blessed you with that, and you gotta just bask in it. That's who you are. You are that girl.
Oh, but it still sounds so crazy, but I do feel like it's an honor.
You know what? Yeah. That's who you are. And I just want to know, what does recognition mean to you? Like, how does that?
Okay. Well, I'll tell you that.
Let me just say this real quick for the people watching outside. Let me just say this. Okay. The Mays family was the Obamas before the Obama. I'm just gonna say that.
That's so crazy. I want to hear how you see that. It's so interesting.
Like, listen, in Little Rock, because I'm from Little Rock, I dated her brother, but your family was that family. Everybody wanted to know. Everybody wanted to be y'all friend. Everybody wanted, like,
they want to be my friend. They want to be Ricky friend.
They want to be Ricky friend. Right. Everybody wanted to be in that family. So what does that feel like? Like, you have to you got to own, like, that's who you are. You can't.
Well, you know,
who you are.
Jennifer and Richard Mays, they would always say, "You don't have nothing. You were not born of anything." As my mom would be like, "You guys, like, you all don't have no money. You don't owe nothing. All you need to do is go to school and come home and do your chores." Like, she was so, they would never let us think like that. As a matter of fact, when my mom died, my dad said there will be no arguments about anything. Like, it just wasn't happening. They were a zero tolerance, no nonsense kind of parenting. So to us, it seemed just normal. But I do understand, like I said, when you're growing up in it, you don't see it. But looking back on it from this space, Lynn, I do think it's an honor more than anything as a reflection of the consistency of what my parents have done, and the consistency and the commitment towards their give back. My mom, she was so into her community service stuff and decorating stuff, and doing stuff.
Remember, she was a Lynx because I did a little fashion show.
Oh yeah, she was a Lynx. She was a national officer. She was treasurer.
Yeah, she did a lot.
She just was involved in so many things, and I think it's a testament to her level of commitment, and it shows that to me. I think it tells us that, for at least for me, that work and attention to detail and relationships, it's just all in the pursuit of excellence. And that's just what we were raised from, in the pursuit of excellence. I remember she said, well, you make you can spend $1 million, but can you make $1 million? Like, what are you going to do with it? Like, they were always asked insightful questions like that. And it's meaningful to be seen. It feels good to be seen and noticed. But I don't want to view it as a finish line. I think the motivation and the idea to keep evolving and growing and delivering just the highest level of service to whatever I do, right? That's what matters to me. So I don't necessarily do it for that. I'm glad that people see me as such, because if they see me and notice me, maybe they'll, repeat me, right? So they'll pass it on, and they'll pass it on, and then we create legacies like that, right? And so I want my daughter to be able to see that, right? And want her to be challenged to carry the light forward, pass it on. That's what we say. My parents used to say that to us, and I'm going to say that to Kennedy: pass it on. Like, you don't want to just always be a receiver of anything. Like, be a giver. Like, give in ways that, it's not always monetarily. Time is precious, right? So my time, I feel like giving time is money, right? It's to some people, but it doesn't always have to equate the give back to $1. That's what I want to say, something monetarily. It could be numerous things. I try to open up my clinic because of that number of dental students, and because of this big, beautiful bill. It's changed a lot in how these kids apply. So I've learned they can't say that they're Black, right? Now, if they write it in their statements, I think that personal statements, that's one way, but I don't think the applications can ask color or race. So, like, when they're blindly looking at applications, you don't really know if you're looking at someone that's Black or white, right? So if you're trying to diversify something and I don't really know, I'm really kind of judging you first on paper. And so I just want to encourage all students, when they are writing their personal attributes or writing about themselves, maybe mention where you came from, right? Mm-hmm. So at least someone will know, because my understanding, if a school asks that, the application may not be considered. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
And so like now we already were in a space where I told you, it was, hopefully inadequate, and it had only expanded a little bit in 20 years, right? So now we're in a space where I don't even know that it may be illegal for me to even see or ask that question of you, right? Because usually you are invited to an interview after you enter an application. So if it's not on the app what your color or race is, then I don't know that. I'm just judging you by your credentials. Mm-hmm. And not everybody has the same, like we talked about that. Not everybody has the same level of exposure or credentials, like to be able to do that, because they're just learning about it. And so that's why us in this space is crucial. If we want continuity, even more crucial today than it was then, because now they can't even ask it. So you got to ask it. Yeah. So Hey, and that's for medical school. All these schools, I would imagine, dental school, law school, medical school, any school. Hey, listen, hey, tell people about yourself. Let them know who you are, because the schools that care about diversity will figure it out, right? But it's no harm in saying, hey, I grew up in a, all African American neighborhood, just get it in there some kind of way, right? Like, you want to talk about it, because at least if I'm reading this and I see that, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to put this to the side because it touched me, right?
Right.
Like, not because it's Black, but it touched me. There's just ways around it, when you're trying to diversify, since we have gotten away from saying the word.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when we still have to be a global environment, and those schools that care about that, like I said, we'll find a way. But it's even more important for me to be able to say, hey, oh, this was the other thing. The students, like I'm at Northwestern. Remember, Northwestern does not have a dental school. So they used to have one, but they don't have one anymore. So those kids, or anybody interested in going or pursuing a career in dentistry, they typically have to have hours of volunteer service. So they go around and they ask different providers, can they volunteer in their office for hours? And the students that come in here, I get them from everywhere. They always tell me that they've asked like 20 to 26 people, and everybody tells them no. What? But I say yes. Yeah, like they tell me, they ask all the time, because they have to think about it. You have to have some hours as part of the application requirement.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right. So if everybody's telling them no, then how do they get the hours? So she said they just keep asking and keep asking. And so when they ask me, I say, yeah, come on, come on in. Because remember, I have everybody in my office is wanting to go to dental school. So here you go. Talk to them. They're in the process. I feel like I can at least give you that, because they're doing it right now. Yeah. So you should go ahead and talk to them, because they're into it. They're invested in the process. That's currently. Cool. So like, I really that's another way that I feel like, and they can be helpful to me. I can give them something to do. We can, learn together, grow together, so I especially when I see an African-American come in here, I'm like, yes. Right. Don't even ask questions. Yep. Come on by.
Come on by. I love that. I love that about you. I love that about your family. You guys have always been about Black excellence and all of those things. And it's just great to see it. I just love it. And how do you balance all the things you're doing, Kim? All the things you're doing. How do you balance? Do you have do you have a love life?
Okay.
I mean, we can go there, we can't go there, whatever you want to do. But
no.
People trying to be like, wait a minute, who is Dr. Kim?
Yeah, no. It's hard. I'm not always the best. I have been in a very, very long-term relationship, and it has its ups and downs and challenges. But like, we grow and we learn. And I think one of the biggest challenges for me is exactly what you're saying, is time. And it's time. It's balancing and making people feel like a priority, and prioritizing certain things. And like I said, like it's always it's a balancing act of alignment, right? Because if somebody feels because you give attention to one thing and then something else falls, or in this season you need attention to this, and then the relationship falls. So it's constantly a balancing act, right? And like I say, the older and older I get, the more intentional it needs to be, right? And so like, we work on it, and it's not easy. It is not easy. But what is easy? Like, what, who said, I don't really know anything that has a whole lot of reward is easy. Because then I feel like everybody would be doing it, right? Like, absolutely. There is nothing about what I do that I feel is easy. but I'm embracing the spirit of where I am and forward in that and be grateful and graceful, right? Like as you said before, because if I focus on all of the lack and what it is that I don't have, I don't know how easy it would be for me to get up the next day. So like I try not to do myself like that because then that creates a lot of unease, sickness, weight gain. You know, I've had my challenges with all that. Um, but it's not. I will say that everything that I, my relationship partner, he does a lot. He's really good at finding those areas that I'm not so good at, and because he's a giver, and he really works to like he's a like I cook. I can say I don't necessarily like to, but I cook. I do cook. I can cook, but um, I don't know. I think I would even enjoy it more if I made time for it, right? But I get up, I come to work. I'm still at work. I usually leave here around 9 or 10 at night, and I go home and I value sleep over anything. So I will go right to bed after I take my nice warm shower, and then I'm just in the bed, right? And then the next day I'm starting all over again. But he is an excellent cook, and so he packs up meals.
He's an excellent cook. I like that.
He is an excellent cook and nurturer. And so I think that's, like I say, like he's really good at finding, and maybe because he enjoys cooking. I know my brother, huh?
Is he black?
Yeah,
Okay.
he does. He's really into his health, and I'm holistic. Yeah, like I like him. He had a really bad health scare a couple of years ago. He had a heart attack, but he was always into his health. We don't really know why he had a heart attack, but he's changed a lot, even more since then. Like
he had beds working out. Okay.
Yeah, I felt like he thought death was chasing him a little bit. But I say that to say that even looking at that, it made me become a little bit more holistic. I've always been more holistic in nature. I do not, and I don't know if I should say that. I don't really like modern today. I have a sister that's an ER doctor, but she knows exactly how I feel. But I don't really like modern Western medicine, how we work in America. And I don't feel that it's so regulated by pharma to me, and we give a drug for everything a person has. We are writing a prescription or giving a drug. And I don't think we're holistic enough in considering all of the other things besides medication, right? Like we need to consider lifestyle. We need to consider nutrition. We need to consider medication. I'm not saying it's not needed, but it's a balancing act. And I don't think that the first line of every treatment should be a drug.
Right. I was married to a doctor, and he would never take any prescriptions. He would never even take over the counter stuff. So I was just like, okay, I say you prescribe all day, but you don't take nothing. So I was like, okay. So to this day, I don't do none of it.
Yeah. So I just think, it's just that we have to figure out how not to get the quick fix all the time. Like the quick fix might not be the stable fix. It just may be something that lasts just a moment in time, right, to get you through to the next day. But for longevity, I love more holistic approaches. That's what we use here. We're not just about straight teeth, right? It's just if you stay here, you don't see here, right? So I always say it's a balancing act, right? So you want to consider the whole person, not just a part of the person, not just the way that they look and smile, but how do they feel? What is their experience? What are they looking for? What, like how, like, are we looking to balance the face? Like we can change the face, like what are we looking for? Right? Like what are your pain points, and how can I fix what's not so good without mucking up I always say, how do I fix what's not so good and not muck up what already is good, right, about you? Because you don't want to change the good aspects of a person. You just want to fix the not so good while maintaining or improving the already that's good. Right. So just a more holistic approach. And I wish that we practiced medicine, like that. I wish that naturopathic and Western allopathic medicine met in the middle. Why does it have to be either or? Like I just wish there was much more collaboration. And I felt like that when my brother died, it's the same thing. So now here in this office, we look at things definitely more holistically.
I love that. I love that. I practice that. So kudos to that. And I love that. And just lastly, I just love everything you're doing. Like girl, you showing out. I love it. Like it's so good. Like my heart smiles when I see women doing what you're doing. This is why I had this platform, because I want women to showcase this Black excellence that you are doing, honey. And I just love it. So for young Black women, men, or anyone out there becoming an entrepreneur, a dentist, or orthodontist, what advice would you give to them?
Oh, okay. I would say because there are not a lot of us here, I would say you belong in every room you aspire to be in. I would say don't let the lack of representation make you question your potential, because the path in this space may not be easy, but it is absolutely possible. And I would say stay focused, seek mentorship, like we talked about, and be willing to outwork doubt, right? Because when you get there, you also want to reach back and bring somebody else with you, right? Because that's what I'm doing. And just say, your visions, they're valid, even if no one around you has done it yet. So because that's what they don't see, because they don't see a lot of us, right? But it doesn't mean that you can't be here. There is a space for you. It's a journey, because it's long, right? Like we talked about that. It's at least 10 years at the very least. You have college, dental school, as well as any type of a residency program. Like mine is 2 or 3 years. So it is long, but commitment is everything. And there's so much along the way, and we need you. Like we need our African American doctors. We need them. So that's what I would say. I open up my doors, to people who have questions and want to come in. And I know I have several colleagues that do the same. So we're here for you. Just know that, there's plenty. That's one thing I love. When we come together, we can stick together. So I feel like even if you have to Google Black doctor or Black dentist in my area, typically, more often than not, we show up for each other. I know it may not seem as such, but we do, because we know the space is small and we know it's limited in numbers. We need representation. And so every time I go to a meeting full of the SNDA or the National Dental Association, or even the National Black Medical Associations, I see it all the time, and people are always willing to help. So we're there, we're here. And I would not, like I say, let the lack of representation be an enemy to moving forward in this field. So just get your questions. You still have to perform good. Like, I don't want people not to think that schooling is not great and that they don't need to show up, scholastically, because we do need that, because you do have to make the minimum scores. But there is space, there's room for growth and acceptance. And, we've got to be a guide and help towards one another. So definitely, keep working at it. Okay. That's what I would say.
I love that. No, because we need that, because a lot of times people feel like that's like they don't even know how to even get into it. So
yeah. So I know that there are prerequisites that are needed to do that. I would say this, I used to think, because I was a biology major, because you need all these sciences to get in. But I can honestly say that you don't need to be a biology major. You can be a major in anything. You can be an art major. This field is so artistic. I almost think that they would have a jump on me, like an artist or someone that could draw, because dentistry is such a creative space. We're artists.
That's good to know.
Yeah. So you remember, you are creating smiles and building teeth and using your hands. So people who are used to craftsmanship or craft, like they do really well in this field, right? Or people even look
Mhm.
at something mirror image wise, like, and repeat back or draw back. I always felt that those students outshined because I'm scientific. I can draw, but it wasn't like I was sitting here wanting to be an artist. But when I could draw, right? But I didn't practice that skill set like that. But it came in handy in this profession. It's just
Yeah.
it
No, that makes
wasn't yeah, it wasn't my go-to, but that's that creative knack side of me. Like I do have that. I want to be an actress. My mom was like, "Girl, you better go back to dental school." We'd already talked about this since she was 14.
Or you can still be an actress, child.
Well, I used to want to do, but they would not, they wouldn't let me go to California. I had a job working for the senator, but my daughter, she was, wanting to do that for a little while.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
came to California for a couple of months, and then I realized that I couldn't stay there and work. I said, Kennedy, you got 3 months. You got to come back home after that. She was really little. I had to send nannies with her.
Mhm.
Yeah, this was like Burbank. We had an apartment in
Yeah,
Burbank.
Burbank is like, yeah, that's where.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I said no. I mean, like, and kudos to because it's a hard. When that journey that she made, the lady was telling me I needed to move there, and I was like, ain't no way. I didn't even have a license in LA. I didn't have a Cali license to practice there, and I was like, I have a whole job. How you think she living here? You know what I'm saying? But she had a little agent and everything. But like it was I'm glad I afforded her the opportunity to try it, right? But we could not. I could not uproot what I was building here at the time. I said, if you really want to do this, you have to go to school and move out there on your own.
No, like no. You know what? That if that's what she wants to do, she can still do it. She's still young.
Yeah, we have not talked about that since she was 12. She
Yeah,
in a whole law school now.
still like I
Yeah.
always say, whatever you want to do, you can still do it, child.
But I was saying to say that those different career aspirations, they really are helpful. Like I think it's personally, I think that if you're saying, hey, like someone that was an actress and said, I'm gonna be a dentist, I'm amazed, right? Because they're two different aspects, not necessarily, they're both hard work, but it's just two different career paths, right? But so that would look really well on paper because it stands out. It's not the average student. The average student that's applying to medical school or dental school is probably not an actress, right? Or someone in theater.
Mhm.
But I think it brings value because it's different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Right. Yeah.
it's so different, girl. LA is it's a different beast. So
I know it's really. I'm impressed every time and kudos to you, Boss Babe. Right. I mean, like you got your whole podcast. You have set your own space. You've always wanted to go to LA, California. Remember, you told me
always
you
wanted
always
to
want to live
like,
there.
when I was in
You-
Little, I talked about it all the time. People thought I was crazy.
Yeah, but you look at that. See, that's what I'm saying.
I was living in Calais. What is that, Calais over there? Yeah, my apartment in Calais. Is it
Yeah.
Calais? Yeah, Calais.
I know, but I think that's so great. And even people from Arkansas, remember, nobody really left. Or we used to, my mom be like, people just, we love a place of comfort. We go where we are. It doesn't mean that they haven't gone or went somewhere, but they come back home, right? Because I mean, I miss home, but I think it's something to say that when you leave and develop something.
What do you miss about home? And before we leave, I want to know, what do you miss about home?
Well, because my family is there and us getting together and we're really, really close. I miss the gathering.
Tiffany's there and
yeah, Tiffany's there, my dad's there. So you have Tiffany, and her kids, and then it's going to Tiffany's house. I don't know if it's like it ain't never empty. There is always something going on, and don't leave a sock or nothing because you won't never find it. It's like a sucking volcano in her house. Like if you take something off, you might not ever get it back. But there's something about that. It's no rest. It's 20,000 kids running everywhere. It's literally like it's a comedy show, But I love the business. Every day her kids got a sport. She's got a lot of kids, right? But they all have different sports.
Yes, Tiffany got.
They had 5 kids.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm saying like everybody's in something and they go from like 10 to 21, right? So it's
Okay.
it's just a lot going on. But I miss, when we get together, you never gonna hurt for a meal. Okay. It's always food. There's always conversation. It's always comedy. And I love to laugh. And it's just like no pressure. And I miss that. Like when I'm here, I count the days. When I'm there, I don't know what day it is. It's if it's Monday or Saturday, because they all flow together because they look the same. But like where our mom goes, we're there. I'm like, we
That's
just eat
beautiful.
together, we eat. And then every now and then I try to get out to go meet and see people that I haven't seen in 20 years, but it's often hard because we usually have an activity that we planned every day, like whether we're going bowling, whether we're going to go to Top Golf, or maybe we're going to go take the kids to the movies, like maybe we're going to go to dinner, have conversation, like we're going to sit down and play games. I mean, we do stuff all the time, and I love that. I don't have that here.
Yeah.
It's just me. So coming back home centers me,
Yeah.
and that's why I say I feel grateful. That's what I miss.
When I go home. Yeah.
Yeah, it centers me. It reminds me of the simple, subtle things, that I don't see that every day, but I'm reminded of how loving and warm that is. And I mean, everybody need a good hug and some laughter and some love. And I
Yes.
miss that. I cherish it because I don't know how long I'm going to have it. I only have one parent left. I've lost a brother, a sibling, a mother. I just, like I don't have any other extended grandparents. My dad is 83, 84 now, he's still driving, and he think he's 25. So
25.
yeah, so I just want to make sure I'm not missing that.
Yeah.
Like because I won't always have that. And Kennedy told me she wanted to move there. So
She want to move there.
to Little Rock. She likes Arkansas.
Hmm.
I think she likes it.
It's not bad. It's not a bad place. I just love it. I like California because there's no mosquitoes here. I don't get bit mosquitoes.
Keep in mind, Arkansas reminds her it's how many? It's 20. We talking about 20 cousins. It's a lot of kids.
A lot of kids.
Like so, it's in the core group. It's probably about 10 or 15 of them. So you have the big kids, the middle kids, and the little kids. So in the big kids, the cousins, they get together. So that's a place where they get together. So she associates that with her family.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
so the big kids, and then you have the middle kids and the littles. You know what I'm saying? So the big kids, they're doing their own thing, but they get together, and that reminds her of that's what I think she likes about it. She associates Little Rock with that.
Yes. And that's beautiful. No, I think Little Rock is a great place. And this is our last question. I just want to say thank you for being here. You are amazing. I love this conversation. Our conversation was amazing. What is one thing that your mom, your brother would be proud of you right now? Just give me like
one thing. I think that they would be proud that I stepped out on my own to do something that I have wanted to do for 20 years that I just didn't have the guts to do before. Of course, I decided to do this and COVID hit. Like it's not, I opened this practice in COVID, but I think that they would be really proud that after it took me, now keep in mind, it's taken me 20 years to do this.
But you did it though.
Yeah, I didn't come out the box like my colleagues did. I waited till my daughter was like when my daughter went off to college is when I started this process. So I was a mommy mode for 18 years. And then I decided to really pursue my dream, not knowing what it was going to come with, but I think they would be proud, not knowing what it's going to come with no idea of what this meant to be. I'm still, this is my 5th year in business, and we are still standing. So
Yes, I love it. Yes.
that's what
Beautiful.
I think.
Congratulations. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. So I am happy about that.
Yes. That's
A consistent push for excellence, right? But
mhm.
this keeps me grounded in my purpose. I feel like, I knew that I wasn't just going to be earning degrees, but that I was going to be building a future where I could create and be impactful and have autonomy and leave a legacy.
Wow.
The vision just helped me, the vision of this just helped me carry it through, So that's not really thinking about all the challenges, but every time I turn around and I see that sign on my wall, I'm like, wow, okay, I did it. I got it up there. So now we just gotta carry the vision forward. So, that I'm happy about. And keep in mind, this is less than 3% of businesses are privately owned in this field. So when I read that statistic, it was like, okay, should I have done should I have done that? So I'm really excited that at least I stuck to it and tried. And I think that they would be grateful that I did that.
And congratulations to you because, like you said, it's not a lot of people that can do it. There's not a lot of people doing it. It's amazing though that you are
Yeah.
part of that small percentage.
Yeah, it's the access to capital that makes
Right.
it difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
So
The
I just
money
you.
takes.
Is there anything else, like anything you have coming up? Do you
Let's see. Well, I always say, I know you're not there. You're in Cali. You're in LA. But if you're thinking about, changing your smile, come and see us. We do complimentary consultations, and we have monthly. I always say we have flexible and customizable financing that can fit any budget, and we don't cherry pick our services. So we give you the full breadth of what we offer because our motto is the smile you desire and the treatment you deserve. Right? That's what we do here, and we keep it. We keep it straight.